Namaskar. I'm reaching out to you today from the forum of Smart Connect. Smart Connect is the forum for all those parents who have young children, growing children, and the children who are in the age when they are imbibing everything from the world around them. Suddenly, very suddenly, the pandemic hit us in 2020 and year 2021. Before we could do anything, we suddenly found that the normal became absolutely out and the new normal took its place. The classrooms were no longer there. It was the living rooms which became the classrooms, which were the bedrooms which became the study rooms, and it was the cell phones, mobiles, it was the TV screens and the computer screens which were the new norm for taking the class tests, class tuitions, class work. Everything had to be done there. Now this was not very easy to comprehend. Children became distant from their social setup. They were all confined to the homes. Children could not meet their friends. And believe me, emotionally and physically, they were impacted the most. The routines went for bunt, and now was the time to take on the challenge of studying, and that too in the atmosphere when there was mayhem all around. The negative news coming from each quarter about, it was not even one place under the sky which was not affected all over the world. This was the time which is really, really challenging, and it still continues to be the same. We have to now think of, under these circumstances, how to boost up the confidence of the child and how to boost up the social quotient of the child. I don't know why, but I am getting more and more gravitated towards the word quotient when I think of children and their upbringing. You see, we start with the IQ, that is intelligence quotient. But what all goes, IQ to an extent is God-given, but there are more of Qs which go in the making of that and retaining that IQ. It could be SQ, that is satisfaction quotient. It could be PQ, that is physical quotient, psychological quotient, comfort quotient, and adjustment quotient, and of course emotional quotient. I just told you, since I got intrigued with the word quotient, if you see the meaning of the word quotient is remainder, outcome, result. Now what is going to be the impact of this pandemic in the years to come? We don't know yet. But one thing is there, now is the time for you and me and all the mentors and all the caregivers to wake up and maintain and boost up the confidence of the child. Confidence quotient, so to say. But confidence is something which is not available anywhere and everywhere. Confidence is something which you cannot buy. Confidence is something which has to be drilled bit by bit, and in a tiny events, it helps in boosting up the confidence of the child. So what exactly do we understand about the confidence? First thing we must remember is that in this whole wide world, there is no one exactly like us in this whole world. So that means there are no similarities, so to say. Similarities, yes, but identically, no. So much so that even identical twins are not identical. Even the way God has made us, even our fingerprints and footprints are also not identical. So that means each one of us are absolutely individual in our understanding, in our approach, and in the outcome of what we learn from our environment. Even in a family, if you feel, you will understand that the family gives the same kind of care and love and affection to their children, and even the siblings are brought up in the same family, yet there are so many glaring differences, you see, and it's not up because of the upbringing only. It is how they become, what is their approach to life, how they take life. But there are certain things which can, bring us to a plateau of boosting the confidence of the child. The ground rule for the parent here would be to understand that they have to buck up the child, motivate the child at least 5 times in a day, not just today or tomorrow, but throughout their growing years. And the words like, the positive words like, wow, great, very good, shabash, excellent, have to be liberally used at home, and also in the class or school or virtual class, which is now the norm. And sure, this is going to impact the child towards learning in a positive way. Then there are times when we have to correct the child, when we have to reprimand the child. There also the ground rule is that 6th time you may say no to a child, you may reprimand the child, but for all the good things, positive things, you have to egg them on. And this not only is subjected to the child only. Even if we see our own lives, say in the business arena or in the corporate arena, if we are, if our boss compliments us and tells us that, well, you've done a great job and your sale targets are very well met, or your accomplishments are absolutely very good, then we feel, more motivated to contribute more to the organization. Even in a small setup like home, if a lady of the house or the man of the house gets compliment for the way they maintain the house or the way they've cooked a particular dish, and the compliment comes our way, God, we get more upskill to perhaps add on to our already, if per se it's a very nice rajma chawal we made, we would say, okay, this next time I'm going to be making pudding to add on, So this is an ongoing process. Each one of us have hunger for appreciation. Each one of us have a hunger for compliments. Each one of us have hunger for being recognized when we do things right. And that, if you can do that, I'm sure your child will turn out to be a very confident person. There are no two ways about it. We must give them newer challenges. We must give them more responsibilities. We must trust them and give our children, small tasks to do. And the minute they accomplish, again, give them motivation to go ahead. In case they spoil a particular thing, doesn't matter. Again, tell them the right way to do, follow it, and that in itself will bring the confidence. These skills are never learned. We must pump up their self-worth by delegating a task to them and seeing to it that they complete it. Once they complete it, appreciate. This in itself will give them bumper dose of confidence. We also understand that the knowledge in itself is a confidence, you see. So help them in completing their home tasks, help them in making a routine of completing their homework in time. Just imagine if the child is not done his home task or a preparation for a test. Next day morning, for the day of test or day of evaluation or per se a day of quiz, he'll be most underconfident. If he's well prepared, bingo, there they are, ready and raring to go and answer all that comes their way. So these are small things. So the gist is that success and confidence go hand in hand, and confidence doesn't come in one day. It has to be added in child's personality bit by bit. We have to boost them up, and we have to celebrate their small successes till they reach the level when they can get big success, till they reach the level when they can stand up on their own and hold our hand and say, okay mama, okay papa, thank you. So that is it about the confidence building. In my next telecast, I would be talking about EQ, that is emotional quotient, and PQ, that is physical quotient and psychological quotient of the child. Now, in case there is time, I would like to end on a positive note.